Hi everyone, this is Patrice Flanagan Morris, LCSW from Empowerment Within LLC. This is going to be my first part of an 8-part series, kind of going over helping the helper. And so what I mean by the helper is anybody who is working in the field of healthcare, mental health, developmental disabilities, anything where you are using your own personal and emotional energy to help others. And so this also spans into if you're a primary caregiver for someone in your home, if you have a family member with mental health struggles, a lot of different avenues in where we become helpers and we have to use our emotional energy in order to support other people around us. In working with these people in specific within an individual therapy session, I've kind of put together some key things that have been really helpful for people, and what's important for you to know is we're just going to scratch the surface. So I'm going to give you some direct tools that you can use to kind of change your outward world. And I'm also going to give you some insight and hopefully help you build some of your own internal world so you're able to care for yourself a little bit better. A lot of people don't know that in order to be the best helper that we can be, we need to be in the best space that we can be in. And that's kind of why I named this series, You Can Only Give What You Have. If you are burnt out or you're feeling unenergized or exhausted all the time, it's really hard to give compassion and care that your clients need on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of us can feel shameful, embarrassed, that we're not able to take care of ourselves when we're telling our clients to take care of themselves. And, what I want to remind everybody is that it's a normal experience. Giving out your emotional energy, supporting people, and loving the people around you can be a challenging time. It can be very hard to be in the helping profession. You have nurses who work 12-hour shifts and sometimes work overnights, teachers who are at work from 7 to 3 and then have to grade papers and answer parent emails and are spread really thin. You have trauma therapists listening to people's stories day in and day out. If you're a caregiver, you're on call 24/7. Your home is where you work. And so that separation can be really challenging. It's normal to start to experience things like fatigue and low energy and like you need a little extra support. So in my office, I work with people individually on this day in and day out. We use specific skills sometimes, and a lot of times we work on brain spotting to kind of clear some of that emotional energy that's stuck from other people in order for them to engage in their work life and their personal life and show up more. And we'll go over that in a different part of this series. So today what I'm going to review with you is the Healthy Mind Platter. There's a link below that will bring you to the page of the Healthy Mind Platter so that you can see it yourself. This was created by Daniel Siegel and David Rock, and it is about 7 different things that we need to be aware of in order to feel more balanced in our lives. And so these 7 different things we're going to review briefly. Like I said, I've done 2-hour presentations on the Healthy Mind Platter, and I'm trying to keep these to 10 to 15 minutes, so we're not going to go too deep into it. But if there is something that you want to learn more about, you can comment below, you can reach out, and we can certainly see if we could set up a time to talk about that, or maybe there's a video that I need to do to kind of go into one of the pieces of the Healthy Mind Platter more. I'd love to hear back from you all. So, the Healthy Mind Platter is based off of these 7 pieces. People try to get kind of worried because it's like, well, Patrice, I can't do this day by day. I can't keep track of all 7 pieces. It feels exhausting. It feels like trying to take care of myself is more work than it's worth. And so what I tell people is to slow themselves down and start where they're at. If you have to monitor yourself month by month to start, to make sure you're reaching each of these pieces, that's what you have to do. I suggest that people do it week by week, having a day during the week that they set the intention of, today I'm going to make sure that I'm getting all these pieces from my last week, and how do I get them moving forward? is usually a really good plan for a lot of people, helps them hold themselves accountable and kind of make some of those plans and structures to make sure they are taking care of themselves. Each of these pieces is not going to be a life-changing thing, but what it is going to be is if you can be intentional in trying to balance some of this stuff out and trying to be more aware of where you're unbalanced, you can make some different choices moving forward in order to help and support yourself. So the first piece is going to be sleep time. Adults are recommended 7 to 8 hours. People in the helping profession, because they have more emotional energy put into their jobs, usually need more. And I know sleep is really hard. In a world where we're like, go, 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 do, sleep is on the bottom of the agenda. But sleep is really important for our brain to restore and to file some things away and to help you kind of reset for your next day so that you're able to show up the best way possible. The next one is going to be physical activity. So what I tell people is, working out is great. I try to work out 2 to 3 times a week because I know for myself it really helps me feel and be more present in my day-to-day job. Now, some people with kids and caregiving and a lot of stuff going on, they feel like they don't have the time for it. And so as with all these pieces, start where you are. If you're not working out for an hour 3 times a week, I wouldn't start with that being your goal. I would start with a 10-minute walk 4 times a week. In those 10 minutes, not trying to make a bunch of phone calls, not trying to get a bunch of other stuff done, but really allowing yourself 10 minutes to simply walk and get some of that physical activity. Physical activity is wonderful for our mind, for our body. It helps increase our dopamine and serotonin levels, so we're happier. So getting some of that physical activity in is really important. Another piece of this puzzle is connecting time. And so in connecting time is really about connecting in with those people around you that you find supportive. So we need to have work people who really understand what we do, and we need to have people who tell us, I need you to stop talking about work. Because sometimes when our world starts to kind of wrap around that, it gets to be our primary focus. And when it's our primary focus, we forget that we have lives outside of what we do. Loving what you do is amazing. And you need to have some kind of life and stability outside of what you do. So what I encourage people is a lot of people right now are using connecting time by connecting in over negative things that have happened. Oh my God, did you see who did that today? Oh, like this rule and policy is stupid. It's not helping us here. There's a place and time for some of that constructive conversation, but too often our world is revolving around some of this negativity and not around what's going well in our lives, or problem solving, or working together to create some solutions, or just allowing ourselves a space to feel positive. That intention in walking in and connecting with somebody, having that conversation, and trying to keep it positive and engaging can really help you restore yourself and feel a little bit more engaged in your day-to-day job. The next one's going to be downtime. So downtime is a pretty simple one actually, but something we kind of glaze over in our day-to-day. Downtime is really just allowing yourself and your mind to lay flat and just notice what's going on around you. And so a lot of people look at downtime and they're like, well, I do that when I watch Netflix or when I, zone out in front of the TV for hours or I'm playing on my phone. And downtime is really about actively not doing anything and just being, which is really hard for a lot of people. And that usually gives you your cues on what you need to start paying attention to for yourself. You can do downtime, sitting and waiting for an appointment, standing in line at the grocery store, anything like that to kind of allow your mind just a minute to kind of settle. The next is going to be playtime. Playtime is often something we forget as adults that's really important. So playtime is, crucial for kids for creativity and learning how to problem solve, but it's also crucial for adults for the same exact reasons. If you're feeling stuck on something, if you're feeling like you're stuck in an obstacle or you're stuck in a problem and you can't move forward and you're trying to figure it out, slow down and give yourself some playtime. Notice how often you're allowing yourself day in and day out to have some of that playtime. Playtime and connecting time can be together if you're meeting with friends or you're hanging out with your kids, but you're really allowing yourself that space to be away from your phone, away from the TV, away from work, and you're playing. You're just engaging. Doing a short dance party when you're feeling especially negative that day or especially down, giving yourself some space to feel some of that uplift and emotion. And what playtime actually does is it helps us problem solve a lot easier. It helps us be more creative in solutions and more creative in our lives. I hear a lot of people being like, well, I gotta get this, and this done, Patrice. So I can't play until I get this, and this done. And my question is, what if you could get those things done faster because you allowed yourself some play? And oftentimes that's what happens. And so really giving yourself that time, structuring that time within your day or your week to really allow yourself to be present and play and just be creative and fun without any agenda is super important. We have 2 more to go over. Focus time is going to be focusing in on a specific task at hand that's sitting right in front of you. So while I'm sitting here, I am focusing in on doing this video, right? I'm not paying attention to my phone and some other stuff that's going on. I'm drawing all my energy in here to you guys to provide the best that I can. When I'm in session with a client, I am there. I'm not worried about, what am I gonna have to do after work? What groceries do I need to get? Anything like that. I shift my focus into the one thing at hand. Focus time is helpful for a lot of reasons, but I think sometimes as a society we get too focused in on focus time. And almost all of our time becomes focus time, where we're hyper-focused on, I need to get this done, I need to get this done, I need to get this done. And focus time is really about allowing yourself a space just to focus on one task at hand and to allow yourself the time to really be engaged in that one task. Focus time is not multitasking. We've gotten way too good as a society at multitasking, and it actually is not beneficial for us overall. It spreads our attention, our mind goes in a lot of different places, and the things that we could enjoy, we often don't because we're focused in on so many other things. And the last one I want to go over with you guys is time in. Time in is time connected in with yourself. You can do time in short spurts. 10 minutes of meditation every day has been proven to be exceptionally beneficial for people. Meditation is often really hard to start for a lot of people. I have people come in and they're like, I tried that for 30 seconds and my mind was all over the place, so I can't do it. And I understand. When I first started meditation, I hated it. My mind was scattered. I felt really like I got other things I got to do. I have other things I need to get done. And the more that I was able to put myself in that space, the more I was able to clear my own blocks with meditation, the more I was able to sit and notice. And meditation and time in is not about checking in with yourself around just what feels really good, but it's really being honest with yourself about what doesn't feel good. Where are you struggling? Where are you feeling those blocks? Where are you hitting a wall? And be honest with yourself about where that's coming from so that you can do something about it. A lot of what we do in therapy sessions is building that ability to be time in and that ability to sit with unpleasant emotions so that you can learn from them and grow from them instead of be stopped by them or have them be a wall where you just avoid it altogether. So that's the Healthy Mind Platter in a really short scoop. Like I said, I could do a 2-hour presentation going into the exacts on every single one of these pieces. They're really important, so I hope that you guys found some importance in this. If you have any questions, comment below. And remember to meet yourself where you're at. What is it possible for you to do today? Is there one of these pieces that you can try to be intentional about today? If you're choosing connecting time, can it just be you're walking and you're smiling at the people that you see? Just giving yourself a brief minute to connect with other people, even if it's not a deep conversation. If it's time in, can you take some time after you get home to just sit and notice and try to bring whatever your intention is, like how do I want to show up today as I walk in through that door and connect with the people around me? What do I need to do tonight to restore myself. And as always, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I hope you all found this helpful. Please tune in next week, Wednesday, for another video, 10 to 15 minutes on another way that you can kind of check in with yourself and keep working on helping yourself as a helper. Thank you.